All right, good morning here. Logging in here just a little bit early. Paul and I are going to make sure we are all set for today. I had to switch my glasses out there, so thank you for watching that. And super excited here for day 5. Just introduce yourself once you're here online. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're coming in from. And I would still love to hear, like we did yesterday, what are you taking away so far from the week? Like what has been, hi Nadine, so happy that you're here. You are one of my heroes. I don't know if I'm sure I told you that before, but I just have admired and respected you so much over the years, and you were one of my fondest, greatest teachers while I was going through school. So thank you for being here, and it's fun, like, gosh, almost, 18 years later, here we are. So thank you for being here and just for being part of the conversation. It's awesome. So I'm just waiting here for Paula to check in. I'm having a little bit of fog in my eyes this morning. All right, so just waiting for Paula to check in here. I'm gonna start our live here in just a moment. Just letting everybody get checked in. Say where you're from and what you're taking away. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Nadine. What's been your biggest takeaways from the week? All right, here, we're gonna bring Paula on camera right now. There we go. Okay, good morning, Paula. Welcome to day 2 of just customizing your plan. Just thank you again for just sharing your plan with everybody, because I know for myself, I always learn so much from hearing other people kind of go through their plan, and then I can just, again, implement that for how I'm going to work for me. So thank you for being willing to be our student guinea pig for the week, to be able to be vulnerable, and the courage that it took to show up. And I appreciate that. It means so much. And I know that some of the comments and direct messages that I've gotten from people, they've gotten so much value out of the conversation that we had yesterday. So it was really, really huge. And I'm just so excited that we're back on, just to kind of recap a little bit about what we talked about yesterday. So I just want to start it off with you. Oh, first off, let me just kind of go through and introduce again myself. So we, welcome to day 5 of Pivot to Profit Challenge. Today is about designing your practice and just fine tuning, like what's next for you inside of designing your practice. And so that is what we're gonna, talk about today, and really try to wrap up together everything that we've accomplished for the whole week. And I have not said anything yet, but I'm going to have, between now and Tuesday, every day, I'm going to be logging in, maybe some different times. I don't have a set time for that yet, but just kind of stay posted to the page. I'm going to do some live interviews with you guys. I'm going to be offering some additional tips. I'm going to be just going through the information again, just covering it one more time. That way everybody really gets the opportunity to really walk away by the end of Tuesday, by the end of this complete training, and you have a really solid, beautiful, customized plan. So if you haven't scheduled your one-on-one with me yet, definitely make sure that you do that. So direct message me or comment below, and let's get you scheduled. My phone number or text number is on the page here. On all of the video referral programs, the documentals, you can find my phone number right there on any of those. If you don't have my number, that's where you can find it. And super excited for us to be here in day 5. So let me just quickly, over the last few days, I've really invited you to take action in everything that we've gone through every single day, and to be able to walk away at the end of this training to create a profitable practice when it comes to healing. And I've said this over and over, at least twice during every one of these live feeds throughout the week, and several times over the last several months, is that I believe now more than ever, it is our time as healers to really show up and shine, and to be able to create these thriving practices. Because for me, it means that we have reached that many more people with our healing gifts, and that we are just, really showing up for our time in history is now as healers. And I know that you guys know that, and this week has been a way for you to be able to show up in a whole new way that maybe you have not seen before. And that's my gift that I bring to all of you. And I'm super excited about that. And I'm very passionate about it, as you can tell. So, excuse me. So thank you. So that's what we've been covering this week. On Monday, we talked about how to fill your schedule to, consistently with clients. We went through a kick-ass video referral program that I know that all of you have. As a matter of fact, I've been getting some feedback now from people who have been saying yes, and people have already started scheduling some of those. And so that's very exciting. On day 2, we talked about conscious communication to be able to create that level of confidence with yourself, which then allows your clients to feel that level of confidence with yourself through developing your treatment plans, this journey that you're going to take your clients on, the experience that you want your clients to have while they're in this life cycle with you, and what are the questions that you're going to ask, as well as these transitional bridges that you're going to have in each of the touch points that you have with your clients. So you build that value every time that you have an interaction with your client, and you know exactly where you are going with that conversation. So it just has a lot of confidence that comes out of that. On day 3, we talked about strategically preparing, like how to take all that information and start to formulate a plan. Yesterday, we created a profitable practice for Paula, and that was super exciting, like to be able to start to go through that strategic plan, and then what does it look like to create that as a profitable practice. And even with all the information that we've given throughout the week, still being able to take that information and then to tweak it like we did yesterday in the live coaching with Paula is where I really come in, and I want to support you and being able to develop those custom plans, and why I want to invite you today to be able to work with me to have that profitable practice by the time a year from now when you look beyond. And then today we were talking about designing your intuitive practice. So we'll do a little bit of live coaching here again with Paula, and then we'll move into the final lesson for this week. And then, like I said, between now and Tuesday, I'll be doing a live, just the tips, kind of going back through the whole week, what we've covered. I'm going to have some live interviews, and so just stay tuned to the page over the next few days. I'm going to be giving a lot of just value, some free information, some bonuses that I want to, have all of you get. And so stay tuned. All right. So really quickly on day 1, we covered, how to create your income. That's, I think, kind of the most important place to start is what is the income that you need to make, that you want to make, and then also what stretches you. We created your schedule, and we've seen over and over the importance of being able to have a set schedule, how that can create your conscious communication, and that just makes your clients feel even better, but also how it also honors your time and your schedule with your services. We talked about your services. How do you start to put all those together so you have an entire journey and this experience you're taking your clients on? And of course, again, we talked about the video referral program, starting with the scheduling those first 12, and then what does that invitation, that script look like? I want to definitely work with everyone in their one-to-ones when we have an individual consultation on that specific script. So make a little note of that. On day 2, again, pillar number 2, what is the journey and experience you're going to guide your clients through in this life cycle with you? So we talked about the communication of that journey. We talked about the pre-session, that very first interaction that people are going to get with you. However they find you, documenting that so you can track your results. We talked about what are you going to do in that first session. We talked about what you're going to do during that session, the conscious communication you're going to have during that session, so you can really begin to then bridge that gap for your entire life cycle and journey. We talked about that post session, that pivotal sentence that you're going to use to be able to create that easy transition from everything you've been creating, your pre-session, during session, now into this post-session, that easy sentence where you're going to bridge that value and that gap for them wanting to work with you long-term by creating this treatment plan, which creates this reliable, consistent income in your practice. But it also is the biggest favor and service you can give to your clients by creating a treatment plan so they're with you for a period of time, not just doing a one-off session. So you really, and it creates that confidence with your client. And then we talked about then how to get back into that second session. What are you going to go back and reiterate that happened between the two sessions? What did they experience? What did they notice? What are the things that are different now? All those kind of leading questions that are going to be really valuable, again, in that confident, conscious communication. Day 3, again, what is that journey experience you're going to take your clients on in that complete life cycle? We talked about asking for help. It's so important to ask for help. We talked about removing distractions from every touch point that your client is going to experience. Look around, just again with fresh eyes. What is something you can take out of the space that maybe has an energy that pulls you out as well as going to pull your clients out? So remove those distractions out of the space. And also distractions from the mind, like how to schedule, or what is my schedule, or how much is my pricing, or what is the life cycle, or what is the conversation I'm going to have, or how do I create a package, and things like that. So removing all those kinds of distractions. We talked about what is your morning routine. So hopefully some of you have created that morning routine. I shared my morning routine, and then also just your self-care, some of those mantras that I shared with you that I use for myself. And then yesterday, finally, we talked about what's next for your plan of implementation. We started going through and creating that profitable practice with Paula. We looked at, how to reliably start to move past some of those limitations that you have that are unknown so often. Like we don't even, like with Paula yesterday, we talked about, like what is her audience, and then also like pricing and the communication that she already has developed over the years of working in the medical field is the same, just pivot it, is the same communication that she can actually use right now in her healing practice. And so we always have that experience. And what I like to do is pull that out of you. So now you can implement it right now, what works for you. And then finally, again, just looking at working in a mastermind, working with me as a coach, and being able to take action now and break down all those limitations as you go along so you really have a profitable practice. So we're going to take a side note here. We're going to jump over to Paula. Thank you for being here, and welcome again. Everyone say hi to Paula. And definitely give Paula some love, everyone, just for her courage and vulnerability and sharing. And I know, again, I always learn so much when I'm listening to someone else go through their plan or listening to someone else share from their heart. I'm always looking for myself and hearing something for myself that I've taken a value. So again, Paula, thank you so much. So let's go back. Do you have your plan in front of you?
I do.
Perfect. Let's look at, go through again, just with me really quick. Let me pull this up here. I want to just kind of go through really quickly, step by step, where you were at with each one. So we looked at, your income. Initially, we started out where you were looking at $6,000 to replace your current income before you were furloughed, and to be at a comfortable level just with your husband, so he could start to maybe look at doing what he wanted to do, and then stretching you what it would look like to replace both of your incomes. So we went from $6,000 a month, which is equivalent to $70,000 a year, up to $155,000 income, looking at the new pricing structure, looking at your now new target audience, looking at now your referral program, putting all those pieces together, and how reliable that is to be able to work a 24-hour work week at the price point that we created, 4 days a week, to be able to create that structure. So you went almost from your current income, without even your husband in there, almost to $100,000 increased income, correct?
Correct.
Working the same amount of time, the same amount of days. Is it still the same amount of time, 24 hours?
Yeah, I worked 3/8, so it's an extra day a week, but it's less hours per day. So yeah.
Perfect. So we went to the same amount of time, 24 hours, this 4 days a week instead of three days a week that you're currently doing. But it's less time each day, so you have more time for yourself, you have more time with your family, you have more time with your husband. To basically giving you a $100,000 a year increase in income by showing you how to quickly and easily create this journey that you're going to take your clients on, which included now massage. Kind of, it sounded like massage was going to be your gateway into getting initially people scheduled, which was going to lead into doing more of your spiritual intuitive work, which is really where your passion and heart is, and maybe doing a blend of both of those in some of those sessions. So they could be a blend or they could be individual. And then I tell you, I got super excited yesterday on the call with you, but also all day long. Even this morning, I was like, man, if I were Paula, I would take that same video referral program. Yes, reach out to your 12 people in the medical field, but also reach out to 12 people that you know have pets and ask them if you can do a session with them, and then have them send that out. And literally, we didn't even talk about the income on that, but you could quickly and easily have a slew of new customers just with your medical intuitive animal communication side business, which is almost a side business to what you're currently doing. So you have some really amazing gifts. And what I would say is, like, take these and get them going, and then look at, now your price point is already where you want it to be, but look at just decreasing one of those days where you are now spending more of that time doing maybe some workshops or your public speaking, promoting your book, things like that. And so, I mean, right there alone, was that a huge value for you or what?
It was, I can't, I'm like speechless. We moved so much energy yesterday, like just in this exchange, that I ended up, I'm most, this is for healers, so I feel like you guys are going to know what I'm saying. When you have a super deep, like, body work session or a super deep energy work session, and you have a huge stagnation that moves, like, I felt like I got hit by a truck last night, like, because it kind of blew my mind, and I didn't realize, because I move so well in my own area, I didn't realize how blocked I was in this area of, like, business and marketing and seeing my own worth in that way. And just to have all that move through me was, I mean, I'm still kind of like, yeah.
No,
So I mean,
that
there's
is
no words
absolutely.
for the amount of the value of it, and the fact that energetically, like, we moved so much energetically yesterday, and we've never even met before. I mean, it's amazing.
And we weren't even consciously doing an energy session, were we?
No, it was like, yeah, a huge, and it's amazing to me. Like, we talked about asking for help a little bit, and I haven't done that in this area ever, really. And I've been working on abundance stuff and doing some abundance affirmations and meditations, and I think that's what sort of opened the door for this. And I didn't realize how blocked I was. I needed help. I needed somebody to show me that I was that blocked, and to kind of bring some of this stuff in and to help integrate for me, the idea that I don't have to have two separate parts of my life. I can use the medical stuff. And actually, I had a phone session with a client yesterday who's one of my longest standing clients. And, like, right away, I was like, oh, we're going to do a video testimonial. And she was so excited about it. And, like, she's in a place right now she can't really pay. She's been laid off, and all the COVID stuff that's going on. And I'm like, well, that's the perfect energy exchange. Like, let's do a series of sessions. My work more than anybody else.
I have
Me too.
goosebumps. Look at that. I
Me
have
too.
goosebumps.
And so she was excited. She gets the value, because I haven't talked to her in a while, because she hasn't been able to afford to pay to see me. But, I'm serving her, she's serving me, and that will kickstart all of that, so that, I'll be comfortable with her to start the testimonials. And then it'll give me the confidence to reach out to some of those people I don't know as well, I feel like. So, and that happened, like, right after we were done. I mean, it was crazy.
Awesome. That's amazing. And so I invite you to be okay with being uncomfortable, because the way you're going to keep this energy moving for yourself, and the way you're going to make this be a permanent change for you, is be with the uncomfort. So do not wait until you're done with these 3 sessions with her. Get on the phone or get on the text or whatever, look at your list, and just give them a call. You have every reason in the world right now. and everything to be able to offer them. People want to hear from you. People want to hear from you, especially with dealing with COVID. I could not believe how busy, just opening back up at the beginning of May, how busy my practice was, because people were dying to have interaction and exchange again. And so, again, I look at it myself. I look at it as I'm being selfish if I'm not reaching out to my clients to let them know that I'm available, to let them know that, hey, I'm open back up, let's come back in. Or so beautiful right now that you've got this opportunity to do the video referral program, and it gives you that exchange of energy. Even if they're not paying right now, like, you still now get something so valuable, and now you are asking them to send this out to 10 of their friends, post it to 2 of their social media platforms, and it gives you this level of confidence. Your practice will just grow. And while you were sharing that, I was like, I have goosebumps. Thank you for being open, for inviting this into your life. And I know every healer that's watching this, everyone that's been here this week, everyone who will watch this afterwards, is here because they've done that exactly what you just did. You invited this into your life. You are ready for it. And energetically, as healers in the world, we are ready for this. And that's why the conversation is happening now, is because we've created, it's time to step out of this unworthiness feeling, or this uncertainty, or this cloudiness of how to create our session and how to really have a successful practice. And I tell you, I get it. I told a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, I was like, it took me almost 18 or 19 of my years to have any sense of pride for being or calling myself a massage therapist. I just always felt it was less than, because I hung out with so many professionals. I felt like it was, a lowly whatever. And I had to come to terms with that and really accept that. And so I've really been practicing over the last year. I've been practicing actually saying the words, I am a massage therapist. I'm a licensed massage therapist. And just making myself comfortable being able to say this, because it was so uncomfortable for many, many years, and I just wouldn't own it. And now that I've owned it, even 18 years later, 20 years later, it's just, I have a whole different shift about it. So it's really powerful to make yourself uncomfortable. When you notice you're uncomfortable and you have some fear about something, that's the perfect time to step into it, step through it, because that's where you're going to transform that energy and use that energy for something really powerful in your practice. And it always shows up, something really amazing always shows up when you do that as well. So will you take on that challenge?
I will.
All right, perfect. All right, so we did that. What else came up for you yesterday out of what we did?
One of the
Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, one of the big things that I got into massage because I wanted to do energy work. And back then, I knew about chakras. I had been kind of working, reading books. I'd never heard of Reiki. I didn't know what it was. I met my first Reiki teacher in massage school, got my first 2 attunements, and I sort of went into massage because I wanted a foot in the door to do energy work. And back then, even if you said I do Reiki, people were like, oh, what's that? I don't know what that is. And it's amazing how much it's exploded, since that was 2003. But I sort of forgot that massage was a tool I had to kind of get in. And that's because I started thinking, like yesterday, I'm like, well, how am I going to approach all these radiologists that I know, oh, come and do spiritual integration with me. They'll be like, oh, I don't think so. Like, I'm into science, but like, hey, come have a massage. I know you're really stressed out. Let's work on that. And then I've had so many clients over the years who came for massage and ended up not even disrobing after a while because all they wanted was the energy work. So I lost that like connection in my mind, and that idea of the mastermind. And I was talking to my client about that yesterday. When she and I get together, we create something, and I've known that for a long time, but I never thought about bringing that into other areas of my life for some reason. So there was a lot of connections that were being made that I was missing, that you kind of helped bring forward for me, and that was amazing.
That is amazing. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. I so loved our conversation. And just thank you again for your vulnerability, for your courage to be live with me. Thank you for working through the technical issues that we had yesterday. That was awfully fun. And again, like I was proud of myself for like showing up and not letting that rattle me. And we worked it through and we had an amazing conversation. So if any of you are watching this and you missed day 4, go back and watch it because it was pure gold. Am I right, Paula?
It was. And I also just quickly want to say thank you to everybody who is watching and who commented. I couldn't see it while we were doing it because I've got my phone kind of set up, but I went back and like it was just so amazing to have the support and to see the people, people saying what I should be charging and helping me see my value. That was so valuable, and I just felt very supported and very loved, and I could feel the energy of that, and we need that. We need to build each other up and hold each other and support each other, and I think that's something that's been missing for me personally, and I'm so glad to find a group of people that are interested in that and that are about spreading that love and that energy of raising us all up, because if we're all we all can raise each other up together, and that's it's an amazing feeling.
Well, you just gave me the perfect segue into the next part of our lesson. So I'm going to invite you to sign off of our joint feed here and then just get back into just your individual feed and get back in the conversation. I'm going to kind of wrap things up here for today's lesson. Paula, thank you so much. This is incredible. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't even have words, so thank you very much.
Good. Thank you. So, oh my God, I literally like I could just sit here and probably like cry for a few minutes because that was so incredibly beautiful and just so textbook perfect for the journey that I want to take you guys on. Paula, exactly. I mean, like she said, we'd never met until this week. I didn't know anything about Paula until this week. She jumped on the live feed. She did the homework. She took the coaching, and we created this brilliant, beautiful, amazing plan and transformed her life, transformed her husband's life. But also, more than anything, look at all the clients now that she gets to impact in the medical field that she would not possibly have been impacting had we not had this conversation. So I'm so deeply moved and honored and grateful. And it's exactly why I'm here serving you this week. And I'm humbled by this. And I hope you get that. And I'm so in love with this process and this conversation. So let's jump into where Paula segued us, which was absolutely perfect, into the power of, minimize this here for me so I can read a little bit here, go through some of my notes, through the power of what she experienced yesterday with us here in this live feed, like the feedback and the comments that even though she wasn't able to see them right then, she was able to go back and look at them and feel that love and that support from everybody that was commenting on her pricing and her gifts and what they felt like they would be paying for her unique gifts. And that is the power of Mastermind, and that is the power of this group, and that is the power of us working together. And so, I want to share an opportunity with you for you to be able to crush it, for you to be able to move forward in creating the 6-figure practice like we did with Paula yesterday. And I'm going to invite you to work with me. I've given you all the information that you have this week. I've given you all the information this week for you to be able to go and create a 6-figure practice. However, as I mentioned earlier, like knowing all of that information and then how to take that regular disciplined action, we don't always do. We know how to lose weight, but we don't do what it takes to be able to lose weight. And so I want to be that support to be able to do that for you. I've created, this formula and the strategic blueprint for success that I want to be able to support you in implementing that. You've been trained in your modalities, but most of us have, at least 99% of us have not been trained in how to take that modality, how to create a business for it, and how to do that consistently and reliably. I didn't even talk about that this week, but even the many, many times that I've injured myself, that I've continued in my practice and found a way to continue healing, even by hiring other therapists and training them in my method so I could oversee that when I couldn't even use my arms for almost 3 or 4 years. I was on a very light schedule because I had hurt my arms, my shoulders so bad I couldn't even work. And so always looking for another way where I can still show up and still be a healer instead of quitting. That's another reason why specifically massage therapist lifespan is so short. One is they're not making money, and two, they injure and hurt themselves and then they get out of the business. I want to show you again in this longevity of us working together how to move beyond those injuries, how to learn from those injuries as I have done, and how to become an even better and better and better healer because of those learning opportunities. So, you know, like I said, I want to share this opportunity with you to be able to really take and create a six-figure practice for yourself. And whether you want a six-figure practice or don't, like just we did with Paula, like if all she wanted was $6,000, I would have showed her how to do that. She does not need to work 4 days a week to be able to create exactly what she wanted. If she just wants to work 3 days a week, just doing what we showed her in that plan, she can do that. If she wants to work that fourth day, then that just expands. That's like, I call that gravy money. Like that's my vacation money. That's like the lifestyle money that allows me to drive the kind of car that I want to drive, or live in the kind of apartment that I want to live in, or have the kind of investments that I want to have, and especially take the kind of vacations that I want to take. As many of you know, I love, love, love vacationing, and I love, just being able to take amazing vacations. So knowing what that baseline is, and then how to get there creates that gravy money where you can still have this amazing lifestyle. And that's my rejuvenation time. I come back a better healer. I come back refreshed. I come back restored. And I know that I need minimum 2 weeks when I do those kind of vacations to be able to even begin to completely relax. And I prefer taking even 3 weeks to really get into a deep relaxation. And then maybe once a year, having a month off is amazing. And going somewhere where I'm just completely lost in my travels, lost in my journey, it's incredible. And so that's what I want to be able to work with you and create that kind of an income, that kind of a lifestyle, that kind of a practice, so you can have whatever you want when it comes to what you want, whatever that is. And I want to help you create that. So if you feel like you've gotten everything you need out of this week and you're ready to hit the ground running, then I invite you to check out of the feed now. You've gotten everything. You can go back and rewatch the videos. However, if you're really wanting to, if you'd like to have support with your plan, if you'd like to, have support in how to implement it, if you'd like that support and accountability and action, that partnership in your growth, step by step of the way, if you'd like someone to answer your questions when you're uncertain about things, or to run ideas by you, like, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think about that? Well, let's talk about that and see how it fits into your plan. If you want to be able to follow a predictable, successful formula that has worked year after year after year after year for me, and that I've trained many other therapists in that continue to have successful practices. If you want to skip all the trials and the errors and avoid all the pitfalls, if you want to use the exact blueprint and formula that I have used over the years that I've shown you this week to have your goals become a reality, then I invite you to work with me in the Profitable Healers Mastermind. As a founding member in the Profitable Healers Mastermind, you will experience 90 days of fast track weekly coaching with me. So every week we're going to jump on a call. It's going to be scheduled every week. We're going to go through and we're going to fast track you. So within 90 days, you are earning that income that you want to be earning. So by the end of the year, you look back 12 months from now, and this is a 12-month experience that we're going to share together, that you can look back and you know that you are well on your way. We've worked out anything that's working, anything that's not working, and we've made it even better for you. We're going to have our weekly feedback based on the results of the action that you've taken. I want you to track those, journal those, so we can go through those individually one by one. We're going to practice your communication bridges for each of those transitions until we get it concrete for you, until we have, this is your script, this is what you're using, this is what you found works best for you in your practice. That way, again, you skip all that trial and error. We're going to narrow that down really, really quick. We're going to measure your conscious communication results from each of your healing sessions. Like, what are those little phrases that you're adding into your sessions to create that client life cycle, to create that journey and that experience, so it's so incredibly phenomenal for your clients and you're giving them 100% every single time. We're going to implement new habits as we break down any limiting beliefs and old habits that you have. So we have those new habits, and we're going to create a ritual and habits for you to be able to do that. We're going to track and measure all of your business goals. So you can look back week by week, month by month, and over the 12 months, and you're going to know exactly the transformational journey that you've gone on. And that is incredibly special. Over the 12 months of the mastermind, you're going to experience building mastery, like really building this muscle and this mastery of not only being a healer and being phenomenal and an expert in your field, but also being someone who owns a business. We're going to, you have the opportunity to participate in my live training sessions, to engage in a weekly group chat where basically you can ask me anything. It's going to be just this Q&A where everybody gets to ask their questions. We learn from each other. It's fun. It's lively. You're going to be in a bi-weekly mastermind and meditation meeting, and this is going to be done online, where we experience goal tracking, accountability, and support. You're going to have an accountability partner that you get to work with. You're going to have access to all my library of my hands-on training, my Jesse James library for my body work. And so you can see that communication style that I use during my sessions, as well as continued access to all of these live trainings that I do and the support on the business side. And also, we're going to have an annual retreat where we get together, and you get to choose one of those every year that you're in the mastermind with me. And those are a ton of fun. Like, I know all the retreats that I've gone everywhere from Miami to Costa Rica to up in Utah to the film festival, and every Sundance, Puerto Rico, and every one of those have been absolutely phenomenal. And so I love retreats. I love just that intimacy of time to be able to connect with other healers, to be able to connect with other people who are really leveling up their practice, their selves, their personal lives, their mental health, their mental state, their physical health, just all aspects of life, like taking it to the next level. And so retreats are a really beautiful way to do that. I always like to have, guest presenters and speakers with me when we do that. So that's a ton of fun. And by the end of the mastermind program, if you are following the coaching and if you show up and you give it 100%, you will be well on your way to earning six figures with ease, consistently. I'm going to repeat that again. By the end of this 12 months, by the end of the fast track 90 days, by the end of the 12 months of working with me in the mastermind, you will be able to, if you follow the coaching, you follow the formula, and you take the action, and you do the homework, at the end of that time period, you will be well, at the end of the 90 days, but certainly looking back at the end of the 12 months, you will see this journey that you've gone on, that you've consistently and reliably created a six-figure practice day after day, week after week, month after month. And by the end of the year, this will just be habit. It'll just be ritual. You'll be so easy when a new client calls you. Exactly. You already know this journey you're going to take them on. Now you've created all this history that you work with clients in this new journey that you've created for them, that it's so easy for you to speak to it. And people want that. And your referrals will be out the window, and you'll be booked out, which is exactly what you want. Now you have all this time and freedom in your schedule to be able to live a life and live a lifestyle outside of being a healer that you absolutely love. Maybe it's day trips to wherever you live, where you can spend time in your particular state, or do some of those fun things that you've been putting off for a really long time. Creating this kind of a practice allows you the opportunity to be able to do that. So over the next few days, I'm going to go through some of the different tips and answer some of the questions. I'm going to schedule the private one-on-ones with everybody. We're going to do that between now and Tuesday. So you guys are going to keep me super busy. I'm going to be doing a live every single day. So just add a little bit more of that information, those benefits on. And, by the end of this period, I want all of you to join me in the Profitable Healers Mastermind. And it's an incredible experience that will be life-changing for you. I can promise you that. Different than anything you've ever done before, different than any mastermind that I've paid $20,000 for or $18,000 for. It will be different than any of those, because the level of support, the level of one-on-one that I want to give you and that I'm creating for me and you to experience over the next 12 months is not like anything that I've experienced in those kinds of masterminds. And yes, have I gained tons of experience that I'm going to bring to you? Absolutely. Have they been beneficial to me? Absolutely. Have I learned so much from them? Absolutely. However, they've been very costly and at a lot of expense and a lot of trial and error to be able to get to this point where I want to just cut all that out for you and just give you so much. So if this is something that you want to do, you know already that you're ready to work with me and you want to jump into the Profitable Mastermind, then direct message me. Let's get you set up. And then just stay tuned over the next few days. Let's work out your customized plans. Let's get you where you are ready by Tuesday to hit the ground running and that you are creating this six-figure, amazing, successful practice for yourself as a healer. I'll say it again. You probably already know what I'm going to say. It is our time as healers to show up and to have thriving practices. It is our time as healers to show up and have thriving practices. And I want to support you. I want to help you in doing that. I've done that for 18 years. I'm now decreasing my hours that I work directly with clients on the table so I can spend this time with you because it is so important. And it's my next level of being a healer to be able to work with you. Now I get to take a small part of I'm impacting every single client that you're working with because I'm supporting you creating that thriving practice. And you can see how much I love doing that. So I love you. Thank you for spending these last few days with me. Listen to all the, the live launches again that we've done over the last few days. Direct message me. Let's get you set up and ready to hit the ground running for the Profitable Mastermind for Healers. And I look forward to watching this, your practice transform over the next 90 days and over the next year. And again, stay tuned over the next several days. I'm going to be continuing to do some live feeds, go through all this information again if you missed it this time, and continue to create value for you so that you are just loved. And I hope you know that. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic, amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow.